Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Jay, and this is my Diecast Creations channel. Today you're going to see my January entry into the Gaslands UK Car of the Month competition. The theme for January was a food truck or a food vehicle or an ice cream vehicle or whatever you want to do. Me being the outside of the box kind of guy that I am, I couldn't conform to their cookie cutter theme, I guess you want to call it. So I came up with a story of my own. Basically, what you're gonna see here, the backstory of it is in Gaslands. So for people that don't know what Gaslands is, it's a post-apocalyptic world where basically everything is televised. The game is televised for the people, and Mars is like where I don't know the whole story. All right, I've only played a few games, but basically Mars is like the next place, and anything that's left on Earth is just a wasteland, right? So in the game there's factions, sponsors they call them, right? And one of them is called Rutherford, and Rutherford is the military faction of teams. So my idea was that the Martians, because in the game as well there's a saying that Mars is a lie, like it doesn't exist, right? So basically my backstory was that the Martians were invading the Earth, and the first thing they did was send down a life support unit, and it thrives on carbon monoxide, right? So it needs exhaust fumes to produce what they call Martian milk, which feeds the Martians and gives them their strength to conquer the world. I know, far-fetched. Where does my mind get the stuff? I got no idea. This is just how it works. Okay, so Rutherford is the military surplus people, the military people. So I figured I'd take a van and kit it out as like a supply runner kind of deal. And you know, he's got a big motor, he's got big guns, he's got supplies for himself, and you know, it's a cargo van, so he can run ammunition and guns and whatever else he needs to the different outposts of where the Rutherford guys would be, because they're the military guys, so they'd have different outposts. You know, anyway, not to be too drawn out about the backstory, but you'll see what we're going to get into here. It's actually two builds into one. There was the alien build and the van build, so you're gonna get a double down here. All right, hope you guys enjoy. So basically, the car that I started out with is shown here. It's kind of an oddball. It's a Maisto, and it's called Fantasy. It's one of those cheaper than $1 cars that you find in Walmart and Five Below and stuff, and it's always kind of packaged as a different deal, a different name or whatever, but it's a Fantasy. So I figured I'd go with it. I had my eyes on it for a while, and I wanted to try something with it. So this was the one. So my idea was to go with a kind of a tuned look to it. So I lost the wheels right out of the gate, and I found these wheels that were on a Cars car. It was one of those Cars Challengers, I think, and they just had that stance kind of look, totally overblown in the rear and kind of small in the front, and this van was kind of stanced already, so it just went hand in hand, you know. So I got that idea, and then I found these something faction dollar store Army Men kits, and it was like Army Men versus aliens or whatever. So I figured I cooked up that whole story that I just told you in my head, and I just figured it was perfect, So I saw these, and these are like attachments for the bigger alien. So it would be like a backpack kind of thing, but they fit right. They were about the right size, So then I'm thinking about the other part of the story, the Rutherford van. He's got to be fast. He's got to be nimble, right? And he's got to have guns. So I was looking at the motors that I had, and this motor was actually on that CORS car Challenger. So I was like, I already stole the wheels. Well, why not steal the motor too? It fits. It's good to go. And then the machine gun was in another one of those Final Faction packs or whatever they're called, from the Dollar Tree for $1, So I slapped that all together, and it ends up turning out pretty good, I think. I primed it with Rust-Oleum red, but it's more like a brown, I guess. And then I hit it with an apple barrel crimson type of color. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know the name exactly. And then I tried to freehand the Martian milk on the side, and it just looked really bad. So I cut out a piece of an Xbox gift card, and I shaved the sides of it so they were beveled. And I took a razor blade and carved the Martian milk into it, like the alien slapped it on the side when he commandeered the vehicle. And then I was like, you know what? It can't just be the alien. Like, what is that? An alien in a truck. So I took a paper clip and some hot glue, and I decided to experiment with that, and it actually turned out really good. I primed it black, and then I ended up starting to dry brush with white and green and a little bit of brown, and I hit it with a wash, and you'll see in the end it turned out really well. I took a paint marker, and I hit the headlights, the taillights. This other gun on top is just another Final Faction bit that I found in one of those weapons kits for $1. And I started weathering. I went about the apple barrel brown, chestnut. There's some light mocha in there. I believe I hit it with orange, which is apricot. Just little tiny specks of it. And then I did use a little bit of the typhus corrosion, but not too much on this one. This is the bigger guy that I had found, and I actually took him apart and used the chest piece and the legs. So I cut them up and stole the legs and the chest piece, and I ended up cutting up the other one, and I combined them all to make this alien creature thing that's like the life support unit for the alien Martian army, right? I found this 40K helmet that was in a bag of bits I had grabbed from the store. Figured I'd slap that on there. I tried to freehand Rutherford logistics on the door. That's with like a toothpick and some paint. So I did the best that I could, that grill, the front bumper is just a piece that I had salvaged off another wreck that I chopped up in an earlier build, and it fit, So then I took a piece of styrene tubing and 3/16 copper rod, and I made I basically just filled the gap there in the front, and then you'll see how it looks here. The details, I was really impressed. I impressed myself with the details on the helmet there, and took the little bit of nuts that I had for putting the cars back together and screwed them into the sides. And then the roof rack actually came off of a Matchbox boat. I don't know the name of it, but it's like a rescue boat or whatever. And I thought that the cage looked pretty cool. So I took that and painted it up a little bit and dry brushed a bunch of lead belcher and gunmetal on there. Hit it with some weathering, wrapped the chain around it with Sterling Battlemire, which is Sterling Battlemire is a Games Workshop paint that's very thick and muddy looking. It's got a lot of texture in it. You can't really use it on anything besides a mud looking thing. It's made to look like mud. So I literally dipped the chain in the pot and pulled it out, cleared it with a toothpick, cleared all the holes, and wrapped it around. You know, so the reason why I had done all this is I wanted this truck to be playable. You know, I could have made the Martian like part of it, like it had wrapped its arms around it and it was, you know, captive like that. But I wanted this truck to be playable in the game, you know, because I've only played a few games, but this is one of my visions when I started. It was to make a van like this. So I wanted to be able to detach the two and use the van on the tabletop, right? And then I'm pretty sure you could use the Martian as a monster hunter or something like that, but one of those scenarios. So basically that's the build. I had recorded all this before I decided to make a channel, so they're all still shots. But this is the van that we started with. It's a Maisto Vanity, made by Maisto and made in China. It was really cheap. I broke the base. And this is the final product. One thing I didn't touch on was the stance of the wheels, so they didn't fit in the base. I had to actually break the base to and then cut out the interior like part to get the thing to really fit up in there and get the stance that I wanted. But I'm really happy with it. You know, the exhaust tips on the side as well came off of a chill mill, which is a Hot Wheels casting. And then the Alien came out really cool. I think it looks really cool. I like the milk, green milk kind of coming out of it. Some might say it's something else, but you know, not here. So you know, basically that's it. And then the other detail that I didn't touch on was like those little white things in the corner of the windows. I had seen people doing those before, and it's like I guess an animated way of showing sunlight reflection, and I thought it was kind of cool, so I figured I'd experiment, and that was the first time I ever tried. I think it's kind of subtle. It doesn't really make it look good or bad. It just gives it a little bit of character. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You know, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see more videos. Appreciate your time, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. See you on the